a traditional Yule log. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a cake first. I just use, this is actually just a regular cake mix, and it's one cake mix. So if you just use mix from the store, it's just one box. And this is a sheet pan that, out here we get them at a place called Smart and Final. They sell restaurant type sheet pans. This is a half sheet, and they also sell the full sheets. And a lot of bakeries use these to do their sheet cakes in, but usually it bakes up higher because we usually put more batter in it. If you don't use cake mixes, if you do things from scratch, it's about 5 cups of batter that goes in this pan to make this size, because you don't want it to be too thick. You want it to be a little bit thinner cake so you can actually roll it. And what I want to do is that I've got a large piece of parchment paper here. What I want to do is actually flip this over and kind of release it from the pan. Okay, now when I bake this, you can see here it has another piece of parchment paper on the back. So what I do to prepare the pan is I just take some shortening and rub it around the edge, and I do an X across the middle. Then I just take a piece of parchment paper and just place it right over the top, and then you pour your cake batter in there, bake it, and then it comes out like this. Okay? It usually doesn't tear like that, but this one did. Okay, so I've got this on here. Next thing I need to do is I need to go ahead and put my filling in here. So you can use whatever kind you want. This is just a raspberry mousse. And I'm just going to take it and plop it down on here and spread it out. You don't want it too thick, because what's going to happen when you roll your cake, it's just going to pretty much ooze out the sides if you have too much in here. Okay. And it's okay if you don't go right to the edge, because like I said, once we start rolling it, it's going to kind of come out a little bit. Okay, now I like to use the parchment paper here to help me roll. So what I do is I actually go ahead and bring this up and start to roll it over. Okay, and then bring this up. And it's okay if the cake is cracking a little bit, that's fine, don't worry about that. So you just keep using this, keep rolling. Okay, so you end up, what you want to do is just kind of tuck that paper in there like so. So the roll there is actually on the bottom, where it's seamed together is actually down here. You want to keep that on the bottom, okay? And then here, you take this and you go ahead and twist this, and twist this side and secure it. Now if you do a whole bunch of these, what you can actually do is right now with a piece, since this is parchment paper, with a permanent marker, just write what type of cake and what kind of filling it is right on here. So this would be white with raspberry mousse, ras mousse. That way, we put these in the freezer because they have to be frozen when we do it, so that we can cut it and it doesn't fall apart on us. So that way, if you have a few of them in the freezer, you won't forget, what's in it. Okay, so now what we do is just pop this in the freezer, and I usually do this part the day before I'm actually going to make the cake. Okay, so you freeze it overnight so it's nice and solid. So it's in with the freezer, and then in the meantime, what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to make some meringue mushrooms. Okay, so we'll be back in just a minute.